The previous section of the course was all about strengthening our minds, our thoughts, and our brains. Now, we know from science and personal experience that our thoughts are extremely powerful and that our beliefs affect all areas of our life, especially our health and well-being. So, in this section of the course, we're going to go even deeper and we're going to strengthen our souls by strengthening our connection and our relationship to God. We're going to strengthen and improve our beliefs in God and our beliefs in the Christian faith, in the Catholic faith. Now, a great exercise for our minds and our brains that strengthens our souls and our faith and our beliefs is called natural theology. And it's simply just thinking deeply about God. There are excellent arguments for God's existence that go beyond biblical teachings in Scripture. And we can know and understand a little bit about God and God's nature just by simply using our rational brains, using the logical, rational parts of our brains called the prefrontal cortex. So again, thinking deeply about the nature of God and about God's existence and not using Christ's teachings or the Bible or Scripture is called natural theology. Now, there's lots of different arguments for the existence of God, but there's four really important ones to understand, which are the cosmological argument, the teleological argument, the moral argument, and the argument from contingency. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. These arguments are a little bit hard to understand. They're deep. But, again, thinking deeply is really good for our brains. And thinking deeply specifically about God and natural theology is awesome for our souls and our minds. So, the first one is the cosmological argument. And this argument is also known as the ultimate cause argument, which basically states that everything in the universe has a cause because everything in the universe is moving. And God is that ultimate cause, or that first cause that starts everything in motion. God is what philosophers like Thomas Aquinas and Aristotle call the unmoved mover. Now, if you think about it, everything in the universe is moving or changing. Every cell in our body, every atom in every one of our cells, every particle in the universe is all moving. It's constantly in motion. And when you move, you change. You go from point A to point B. And change requires a cause. Change illustrates cause and effect. So, what is the ultimate first cause for all of this change? What's the ultimate cause for everything in the universe moving and changing? It can't be the universe itself because, again, that's what's moving and that's what's changing. Something had to get it all started. Something has to be the ultimate first cause for everything in the universe. And that something is God. Now, the second argument is called the teleological argument. And this argument is also known as the design argument. Because if you look around to nature, to the universe, to us inside our bodies and our cells, design is everywhere. This beautifully complex world that we find ourselves in points to an ultimate grand designer of everything. Now, the next argument is called the moral argument, which basically states that we all have a moral compass. We all inherently know what's right and what's wrong. And that right and wrong, that moral standard, come from God. And the final argument is called the argument from contingency. And it's also known as the dependence argument, which basically states that everything in the universe is dependent upon something else for the way it is and for its existence. See, you and I and everything in this universe are contingent upon or dependent upon something else for the way it is or the way we are or for our existence. This universe is governed by certain laws and certain criteria for the way it is. And God is the ultimate lawgiver. God depends upon nothing else for the way he is and for his existence. God is self-existent. So again, I know these arguments are deep and sometimes hard to understand, but going deep with our thinking deeply about God and God's nature and the existence of God, really benefits our brains and our minds, and it helps to strengthen our beliefs and our faith, and helps to ultimately strengthen our souls.